going on, guys? For those of you that are new to the channel, my name is Ty, and today in this video we're going to be talking about my best theatrical experiences ever. This is going to be more of a personal video, just talking about the best moments, the best movies that I ever got to experience in a movie theater. Now listen, again, like I just said, I'm not going to be talking about my favorite movies of all time, just the best times that I can remember at a movie theater. I feel like there's so many different experiences for so many different reasons, but listen, let's just get into it today. The reason I'm making this video is because of the Minecraft movie that just came out. Quite honestly, I had such a great theatrical experience with that movie. It wasn't even that good, but everyone was clapping during I Am Steve. They were clapping during Chicken Jockey. It was just so fun. It was just so thrilling. People were not like throwing popcorn and stuff like you see in the other theaters, but it was just a safe, relaxing, calm, hype, fun time. It wasn't anything too, annoying or anything like that. And it made me think, you know what? What are the other great theatrical experiences that I had? Because honestly, the Minecraft movie experience was definitely like in my top 10 greatest movie theater experiences ever. It was just such a great time because I felt like all the audience was in on the joke. So yeah, let's dive into my favorite experiences. Kicking things off here with one of my earliest movie memories, at least the movie that I remember being really excited about, it's going to be the Lego Movie in 2014. I remember being so excited for this film. It was the first movie that I was ever like actually hyped for, and my grandparents, they have sort of like this vacation home, and when this movie was coming out, I was at that vacation home, and I was begging my mom, and this vacation home's in like the sticks, in like the middle of the woods. There's like a small town near it, but it's nothing too crazy. I was like, Mom, can we please go see the Lego Movie? It just came out. And I was begging, and she was like, you know what, fine. We went to this super small little theater. It was like private. It wasn't even like an AMC or a Regal or anything. There was like one theater in the whole movie, like one actual viewing room. That was it. So it was just showing the Lego Movie that day. We watched it, and I remember just being amazed at what I was seeing. It was so surreal. From there, the next year in 2015, my second most hyped movie ever, you could practically say, is Jurassic World. I watched Jurassic Park growing up. I watched all the other movies too. I loved 2 and 3. I didn't know that people thought they were bad, honestly. I thought that people thought they were amazing, and I'm still a defender of both of them, but let me tell you, man, Jurassic World, because it came out like right before my birthday too, just such a surreal experience watching movies that had like a lot better CGI, especially because in 2015, when we're looking at the other ones, they're like in the 2000s, late 90s. The CGI was incredible. I was just blown away by what I was seeing. And honestly, this is the second movie now where I got to see Chris Pratt, and now I just really enjoy him because the Lego Movie, of course, Emmett's voiced by Chris Pratt. Now I got to see him, and I just remember being in that seat just amazed. From there, I've got to move on to what is literally my most anticipated film of all time, one that everybody will say was the greatest experience ever. It's going to be Spider-Man No Way Home. Unfortunately, and this might sound kind of crazy, I actually wasn't an MCU fan when Endgame came out, so I didn't see it. I was like not really into movies too much, wasn't even into comic book movies at all. Like all my friends were talking about it. I was like, what are you guys yapping about? I was just into other stuff like sports and other things. Just wasn't a comic book movie guy, even though it was super popular. But I've got to say, No Way Home, oh my god, the hype leading up to that film for like a year, once we actually got like the rumors starting to swirl about Tobey and Andrew, even though there was the leaks, even though there was the trailer where the lizard was edited to get punched, it didn't matter because we didn't have that official confirmation. So I remember being in that theater, the second Andrew showed up, I screamed. And don't even get me started because just a couple minutes later, a couple like seconds practically, when Tobey Maguire showed up, oh my god, just such a surreal experience. Even with all my friends and stuff too, we all went. I remember I stayed up till 3 in the morning trying to get tickets on AMC's website because they released at midnight, and it took 3 hours to get these tickets. So it was just an unbelievable experience. It was like me, my girlfriend, a couple of my friends. We were all hyped. We knew what we were getting in for, but we still didn't have that confirmation that Tobey and Andrew were going to be in there. And just to get that satisfying conclusion where they were there. There were our heroes with the whole theater going nuts on opening night. Surreal experience. Another MCU movie that might sound kind of random to you that was really important to me was my Black Widow viewing experience. I know this sounds a little bit weird, but I went to the theaters to go see it. This was like mid 2021. I think it came out like June, but this was the first MCU movie after Far From Home because they were sort of like on a hiatus with COVID and stuff. But I watched the MCU from like very late 2020 around Christmas time up until like spring 2021. So once I caught up with all these films, I was a huge fan. I was obsessed. And the first MCU movie I ever got to watch in a theater was Black Widow. So honestly, I really have a lot of nostalgia for that movie, even though it was only like 4 years ago. I really enjoy it to this day. I'm still a Black Widow defender, but my experience, like just watching an MCU movie, especially an original Avenger, was so awesome. Yelena was such a great time, just having fun with her, meeting her character. Red Guardian with David Harbour, who I already knew from Stranger Things, because I love that show. It's one of my favorite shows, if not my favorite show. So just an awesome film in my opinion, at least a good film experience, especially because again, like you couldn't really go to the theaters during that time. That was one of the first movies that sort of like opened back up, so that was one that I'll never forget. From there, just like a year later, The Batman is one of the best theater experiences I ever had. I just remember not being excited for this movie because honestly, I just wasn't a DC guy. And my friends were like, hey, there's a Batman movie coming out next week, which is crazy to think about that like I wasn't in with all the hype and all the news back then, which was only like 3 years ago, but it's now pretty much like my favorite movie of all time. But I remember just sitting down, not knowing what to expect. I don't even think I watched the trailer. Like, that's how much of a casual I was. My friends asked me if I wanted to go and I went to see it. And I just watched the film with no expectations, but I think that like really set the standard for me because I had no expectations. There was nothing to like, think about. I was just a clean slate basically that was going to see this film for the first time. And I just remember after that movie ended just being like, wow, I just think that was like a 5-star movie. Again, with no expectations. I didn't love Batman as a character. I didn't hate Batman as a character. I liked Batman and stuff, but I was like, oh my god, this is just like on my wavelength. I love the mystery, the intrigue, and I was with my friends and stuff. Just such a great theatrical experience. Just sitting in that chair watching the story unfold and just being like, oh my god, I can't believe what I'm watching right now. Next up is going to be Across the Spider-Verse. I remember just going to see this with my girlfriend, and I loved Into the Spider-Verse, but it just wasn't like one of my favorite superhero movies ever, and obviously it's such a masterpiece that going to Across, I remember going into it with such little expectations. This was right after I started my YouTube channel too, and Across the Spider-Verse holds a very close place in my heart because for a long time, it just got beat a couple months ago. I have an Across the Spider-Verse video that was like my most popular video. It got like 20,000 views comparing the first to the second movie, but going to this film, didn't really have any expectations. I was like, okay, the first one's so good, there's no way the second one's gonna live up to the hype, so I'll just hopefully enjoy it or whatever. I remember my theatrical experience, like just my mind was blown at what I was seeing. Like the first minute of this movie, I was like, whoa, what is going on with the animation right now? Like, it was a step above Into the Spider-Verse with like the way that on the subway panels we were seeing certain things, the cold open with Gwen, and I was like, oh my god, I think I'm gonna be in for the time of my life. By the end of the film, I remember sitting there, like the second the credits rolled, the song starts playing with A$AP Rocky, and I was just like, oh my god, I think that is one of the greatest movies that I've ever seen in my life. I know that people are gonna say, oh, but it's just a comic book movie. I don't care. That was like my genuine reaction. Again, I didn't really see too many reviews or anything. I was like, oh, is it as good as Spider-Verse? And I think it's a better movie personally, but such an incredible theatrical experience. My most random theatrical experience is gonna be Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning. This came out like mid-July and my YouTube channel started like early May, so I was trying to see every single movie and review every single movie. I still pretty much try to do that, but I've taken like a slight step back because I don't need to watch like every single small movie that comes out, but I still do see most. But either way, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning came out. There's only one problem. I only watched the first Mission Impossible movie to prepare for this film. I didn't see any Mission Impossible movies. I was like, you know what? I'll just watch the first because I just kind of ran out of time. I remember that after my internship that I had at the time, I was like rushing to the movie theater because I was going to be late. This movie theater too was like super far from my house because it was more like closer to my internship basically, because my commute was like an hour every single day there and then back, so like 2 total hours. But on the way home, driving to this theater that's super far away from my house, it was a Dolby theater though, so I knew that it was gonna be like a pretty cool sound experience or whatever. When I walked in, I was like rushing. The second that I walked through those doors, the movie actually started, so I had to like run up to my seat. It was a hot summer day too. Sat down, packed, massive theater. Like this theater, I was like, oh my god, but I didn't really have time to process it because again, I got there super late. Like the movie literally started, the submarine sequence started, and I was like, oh my god, sorry, I'm scrambling past people. Sat down. It took me like 5 to 10 minutes just to like cool down and get in the movie mindset, even though the movie already started, because huge pet peeve of mine is getting to the movies late. Of course, I want to get there like at least like a couple minutes before the movie starts. I don't need to get there a half hour before, but still, sat down, got kind of like cooled off. I was like, okay, let's relax. We're going to watch this movie. And I wasn't excited for this film. I wasn't really looking forward to it at all. I did not know what to expect. Again, I did not watch Mission Impossibles 2 through 6. And when I tell you, I finished that movie and I was like, oh my god, this is one of the greatest action films that I have ever seen. Literally ever seen. Rebecca Ferguson's character dying, even though I didn't see the other films, had me so sad and crushed. The stunt at the end of the film, unbelievable. The train sequence, the car chase in Venice, my mind was blown. And even though it was a super uncomfortable start, I wasn't excited. I didn't even want to go. I was hot. I got to the movie pretty much late. It was such a thrilling, unbelievably incredible time. The Dolby sound system was pumping. Just a one-of-one experience, truly. And I've got to say, I will never forget that experience with Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning. And I could not be more excited for this second film. But the final one that I'm going to talk about here, it's a bit more recent, of course. It's going to be Deadpool and Wolverine. I was super excited for this movie, and I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I think this movie's aged a bit poorly, and I know it's only been like 8 or 9 months, give or take, maybe 8 months. I think it's aged poorly, but that theatrical experience, watching those people come in, Gambit, Wesley Snipes' Blade, even Electro, I didn't care about too much. Doesn't really matter though. X-23, even though they leaked her in the trailers. Such a great theatrical experience. It's just been so hyped. I love the Deadpool movies. I watched all the X-Men movies before this. So excited to see Hughes return to the big screen. And it was just so great to laugh. The second that I saw that intro start, I was like, oh my god, what am I watching? What am I in for? Laughing with the entire theater. It was just absolutely great. But those are my favorite theatrical experiences. I'm probably like forgetting a couple, honestly, but the Minecraft movie just got me thinking, because honestly, I had such a great theatrical experience. I want to talk about my favorite theatrical experiences ever. Honestly, the Mission Impossible one, even though obviously like No Way Home's crazy, might be one of my favorite just because of the fact that it was such a surprise and it was an impossible mission for me to even like that movie in my eyes. So quite honestly, it's just going to be one of my favorites at the end of the day. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know your favorite theatrical experiences down below. I'll see you guys in the next video.